What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got something just a little bit different from what I normally have been doing the last few months. So basically, as everybody or all of you that have followed me, or if you're new here, the last few months I've been really one-dimensional. I've only been talking about the NBA, basketball in general, from commentary to history videos, stuff like that. And I've really enjoyed making that content. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching my videos. But today, I want to broaden my horizons. I want to get out there and swim in the theoretical ocean out there, and I want to get into my other passions, the other sports that I enjoy, most notably the NFL and college football. And I figured with the college football season starting technically last weekend with week 0, not many big matchups. Nebraska versus Northwestern was a fun one to watch, but there's not much else in that last week that was really all that interesting. I wanted to get into this first week coming up to Saturday, so about 3 days from now. Week 1 starts Thursday, September the 1st, and I wanted to go through and predict every top 25 matchup. Now, I'm not going to predict every matchup just because it's, there's a lot of different stuff that could happen. There's so many different games going on. I didn't want to have to try and predict every single matchup that's going to be happening in this week 1. So I'm just going to limit myself to the top 25 teams, or every top 25 team that's appearing in a week 1 matchup. I don't believe we saw any ranked teams last week, but we did get a chance to watch FSU. Hawaii got whooped up by Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's in the number 1 spot for the SEC. But here we are in week 1. It starts tomorrow, actually. I don't know why I said Saturday or 3 days away and then I said Thursday. My brain don't work sometimes. But what better way to start, in my opinion, than with the backyard brawl? This thing has been going on since 1895. It's been gone for a few years. One of the toughest and most hate-filled rivalries between 17th ranked Pittsburgh and the West Virginia Mountaineers. Now, obviously, Pittsburgh is 17th in the nation, so they've got about a 78% chance to win, according to ESPN. Most of my statistics in this will be from ESPN.com. They've got a 78% win matchup predictor, and the Mountaineers only got about 21.9%. So, basically, you want to put your money on on Pittsburgh if you're a betting type of person. But for whatever reason, I just have a feeling that West Virginia is going to come out here and they're going to shock the world. JT Daniels is going to come in. He had an okay season at Georgia. He hasn't had a lot of time to shine, per se. But I just think JT Daniels is going to come in and do something special tomorrow night against Pittsburgh. And I'll be watching this one live when it comes on because I'm kind of excited. I'm actually excited about this matchup. So you guys make sure to check this one out. But my official prediction for this matchup, I'm taking West Virginia to take down the 17th ranked Panthers in a massive week 1 upset. We see so many upsets in week 1, and I think this is going to be one of the first ones we'll see across, or one of the bigger ones across the entire season. I think it might throw Pitt's entire season off. West Virginia's taking this week 1 matchup. Next up, though, we've got an okay mid-tier matchup, Oklahoma State versus Central Michigan. We do have historical value in this game as well. Central Michigan, I believe, is the team that upset Oklahoma State a few years ago with that Hail Mary and lateral play. 12th ranked Cowboys, I'm going to take them 9 times out of 10 in this matchup. I think the Cowboys have some really good players on their roster. I think they've got a chance to compete this year, but maybe not playoff level, but they're going to win this matchup with ease. 94% chance to win, and I completely agree with that one. In the final ranked matchup of Thursday night, this is going to be tomorrow night, we have the 22nd ranked Wake Forest Demon Deacons taking on the Demon Deacons, by the way, taking on VMI. What is VMI? Can I see what VMI is? VMI is going to be VMI Cadets. Never heard of this college in my life. Obviously, Wake Forest has a 99% chance to win. I think it would be safe to say that you can bet on Wake Forest in that situation. I don't think you have to worry about Wake Forest losing that one. And that's going to wrap up. So 3 ranked matchups Thursday night. Only one that's really important. Tennessee plays. There's a good bit of teams playing on Thursday night. Purdue and Penn State is an interesting game, but nobody ranked in those matchups. Then we'll go to Friday night. We have Michigan State, 15th ranked, taking on I believe is Western Michigan. Is that what that is? Yeah, Western Michigan Broncos. This team went undefeated just a few years ago with Scott Frost, I believe. I think that was them. Or no, he might have been UCF. I can't remember exactly. But if we're looking at this matchup, it's probably a little bit closer and than it appears to be. I know Western Michigan hasn't been the greatest team the last few years, especially since that one year they had a really good record. Last year, would they finish if I can find it? Anyways, Western Michigan was a decent team the last few years. They haven't been that good since that one year. They haven't really been a great team since that one season, and even then they could have been a little bit of an overrated team. But I think Michigan State's going to struggle with how many players they lost last year. You know, they lost a few good running backs. They lost some of their starters. They lost some bigger names off their roster, but they do still return some guys. Like, if we look at their roster, they do return or their quarterbacks. They have 3 freshman quarterbacks on roster, or 2 freshman quarterbacks, 2 sophomores, and a junior. I mean, this team doesn't have a lot of experience. If we're looking at their quarterbacks, you've got Peyton Thorne, the junior guy there. Last year, he threw 27 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, a little over 3,000 yards. So he has experience. Kenneth Walker is still their running back there. Unfortunately for them, he has moved on. So they lost their starting running back. They have the same quarterback in, and it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know if they're going to lose. I'm going to still predict that Michigan State's going to take this one, but I think it could be a little bit closer than a lot of people are going to predict it, or a lot of the outlets are going to say it's going to be. And that is where we conclude Friday night, and we get to, man, I'm so excited to say this, Saturday morning and Saturday night, Saturday afternoon college football. I mean, I'm going to be at the Gamecock game this weekend, South Carolina versus Georgia State. So if any of you guys are there and you happen to be watching this video, slide on over. Hit me up at the game. I'm down to hang out for a little bit at the game. But I'm excited. It's going to be my first game at Williams-Brice Stadium. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Unfortunately, the Gamecocks aren't on a ranked team this year, so we'll just go ahead and skip over them, I suppose. First up, we've got the 6th-ranked Aggies against SHSU. I'm not exactly sure what this team is. It doesn't tell you either, unfortunately, in this ESPN website. It doesn't tell you the names of the teams. Sam Houston Bearcats. There we go. Tickets as low as $42 if you'd like to make it there. 98% chance to win for the Aggies. I'm taking the Aggies all the way on that one. 12th. Next up, we've got the 8th-ranked Michigan Wolverines taking on Colorado State, and I'm interested to see how Michigan does this year. They have a 97% chance to win, and I'm not really surprised by that. They've got a really good football team. As we all know, Desmond Howard predicted them to make the playoffs for like the 9th straight year, but they do continue to have a decent roster. I believe they did announce their starting quarterback was going to be Cade McNamara, and then they were going to give another chance for the next week to McCarthy. I think that's what they announced. So they're going to have a little bit of an interesting matchup going into this one. It's going to be a quarterback battle. McNamara is going to want to do as good as he possibly can to win that starting job. I think Michigan blows this one out of the water. Not saying they're going to be as good as they were last year, but I think this one's an easy win in week 1 for Michigan. Next up, we've got the 13th ranked North Carolina State Wolfpack against the Eastern Carolina Pirates. Now, I'm a little bit bigger on North Carolina State than a lot of people are. A lot of people think they're kind of just a mirror screen. There's nothing really of substance there, but I think North Carolina State has the ability to be a very, very good football team. I think they're going to be higher ranked than 13 at the end of the season, and I could even see them taking the ACC championship this year if they're able to upset Clemson again, but that's a big if. We don't really know what Clemson's going to be like. Week 1, though, against Eastern Carolina, I think that's an easy win for them, and we have to scroll all the way down here to 3:30 p.m. before we get our next ranked matchup, and you guys all know what this is. ABC Primetime, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The 3rd-ranked Bulldogs take on the 11th-ranked Oregon Ducks, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. What's the, you got a 91% chance for Georgia to win according to the matchup predictor, 8.5% for Oregon to win. I don't see any world where Oregon even keeps this close. That Georgia defense is just going to be way too strong. Oregon, I don't think, is ready for this. I think they're going to have to, they're going to bounce back afterwards, but I think this is a bad matchup for them to start the season off. They've got Jake Van Dyne, a sophomore quarterback. They've got Bo Nix coming in. They've got some good guys. Running backs coming in, they don't have a lot of experience on it. They've got a lot of freshman running backs. They've got a few sophomore running backs. I think Georgia dominates, and not just because it's an SEC team, but because I think Georgia has a chance to go back-to-back, and it's not going to be good for Oregon, in my opinion. I think this game is going to be really, really bad and really, really ugly, and my final prediction, Bulldogs take that one massively. Next up, though, we have the 9th-ranked Sooners against the UTEP, University of Texas, El Paso. Sooners are going to take this one with ease. I like where the Sooners are at. Brent Venables coming in as the new head coach. They've got some good players there as well. I hope they get a good season back. I kind of hate how everything happened with the Sooners. So they're ranked 9th. What are you going to do if they lose? They're going to be really bad, apparently, if they lose this game. I'll take them over the El Paso. I think they're the Miners. Next up, we've got the 16th-ranked Miami Hurricanes taking on BCU, and that's not Boston College. That's going to be Bethune-Cookman. Pretty easy matchup here. Miami probably has a chance to run up the score in this one. A lot of these Week 1 matchups, even for ranked teams, are going to be, lower-tier FCS Division II schools. Tyler Van Dyke is here. Peyton Matocha, Jake Garcia, and Ja'Cory Brown. I don't know if they've officially announced their starting quarterback, but I'm interested to see how that situation ends up. They'll probably have, if the game goes the way it should, they'll probably have enough players or enough of a lead to actually play their guys that they want to play, like all of their lineups entirely. So that's going to be an interesting thing to see. I think they have a good opportunity there to improve their depth and see what they have at each position. And next up, we finally have a ranked-on-ranked matchup. Cincinnati Bearcats at 23rd, taking on the 19th-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks. Now, Arkansas kind of ran onto the scene last year. We knew Cincinnati was going to be decent. Arkansas came into the season off of an average year before, but they come back and they return KJ Jefferson, their quarterback, who did really, really good last year. They have a lot of guys coming back. They've got junior running back Dominique Johnson. They've got a lot of experience returning. I think the Razorbacks take this one, and I don't know if it's going to be close. The Bearcats lost so many good players. Kobe Bryant off the defense. Desmond Ridder obviously is the biggest name that comes to mind, their starting quarterback. I think it's a tough matchup to win if you're the Bearcats, and Arkansas is going to run away with it. Next up, we've got Houston and the University of Texas, San Antonio. I am not a big Houston guy this year. I think they're going to be a little bit lower than they should be, 24th ranked. They might lose this matchup. They might get upset, but that offense is just so prolific. I'm going to predict that they actually come in and they do pretty good in this Week 1 matchup. They've got a little bit of an easy schedule going across the next few weeks. I think Houston takes this Week 1 matchup. We're going to go down here to the final few matchups, and I'm going to try and fly through some of these because it's taking a little bit longer than I like. Ole Miss, 21st overall team in the country, taking on Troy. I think Ole Miss's offense is going to take a little bit of getting used to without Matt Corral, but that offense is built for a plug-and-play type of quarterback. They've got to take this one in a dominant fashion. BYU, 25th ranked team in the nation, taking on the Southern Florida, what are they, the USF, are they the Bulls? Yeah, Southern Florida Bulls or the South Florida Bulls. I'm going to go South Florida on this one. BYU's a team that's always on the edge. They always teeter in between being ranked and being really good or being really bad. There's never any in between for BYU. And I think this year it's going to be a tough one for them. USF is going to upset the Cougars. Next up, we go down here. We've got the USC Trojans led by Caleb Williams, Lincoln Riley, all of those. We all know what happened with that. This is a 6 p.m. Pac-12 game. They take on Rice. Just going to be an embarrassing game in my opinion. I think they should dominate, obviously, and I hope they do. That's going to be an easy one to predict in my opinion. Then we go down here, 10th ranked Baylor Bears take on Albany State. Is that it? Is that the team they're taking on, or is it just Albany? It's just Albany. Baylor's going to dominate that one. Their offense is too good. Their defense is too good. Albany's a division probably like 8 school. That's going to be an easy win for Baylor. 18th ranked Wisconsin Badgers taking on Illinois State. Should be an easy win for Wisconsin. They did lose some guys last year, but they bring back a lot of production around that. Good running game, hopefully, for the Badgers. That's what they always have. They rely on their defense and their running game, and I think that's going to continue this year. The Badgers take home that one. Next up, we've got the 20th ranked Kentucky Wildcats taking on University of Miami, Ohio. If it was the Miami Hurricanes, I'd be a little bit more excited. I think Kentucky's got a chance to be good this year, but I think they're going to be slightly worse than last year. Still, they take this matchup at a relatively easy fashion. Down to the final few matchups, Alabama and Utah State. Alabama obviously is going to dominate that as the number 1 ranked team in the country. No competition there. Easy win for Alabama. We're going to skip over Ohio State and Notre Dame, and then we'll come back to them if there's any other ranked matchups. No, actually, that is the final ranked matchup of the week. Ohio State and Notre Dame, and I'm interested to see what ESPN has their matchup predictor saying. 83% goes to Ohio State, 16% goes to Notre Dame, and I completely agree. I think Ohio State wins this, and I think they dominate the Fighting Irish. Now, I'm not going to say Notre Dame is going to be a bad team this year. They had a lot of moving around, a lot of turnover, but they still had a good recruiting class. They kept their guys committed, and I think it's going to be a good season for Notre Dame. I think Ohio State's just a different type of monster. C.J. Stroud coming back, a great quarterback. He's going to come in. He's going to play just as well as he always has. It's going to be a good season for the Buckeyes, probably another playoff appearance. And, yeah, I don't think Notre Dame stands a chance in this Week 1 matchup. Anyways, guys, as we get down here, yeah, that's the final ranked matchup in Week 1. If you guys did enjoy this type of commentary video, NCAA college football is right around the corner. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn post notifications on so you never miss a video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.